my place as somebody who's a spiritual advisor to tell him, I think you're being inauthentic. And the reality is, it's not my place to dictate or analyze anyone's spiritual path or how they interact with spirituality or how they interact with tools. If he was to reach out to me and apologize and take full accountability, I would receive that. And Charlemagne has never, ever, 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 while I was interning there, been inappropriate with me.
Up in this thing, put you up on this game. Wait is over, the wait is over. Welcome back.
This is commentary, so get out your filter. Let's talk about Occult Gems and your relationship with her. So kind of give us some information about how y'all got connected. I know it has something to do with the spirituality and mentorship and stuff like that, but just, you know, the viewer that doesn't really know. So let's just give them some backstory on that and where you are now.
So it really started when I did a video called Adulting in Your 20s is Becoming Hard, or Adulting in My 20s is Becoming Hard, because I was talking about me.
Yeah.
And I basically did a video. This was on my LivewLiyah show channel. And I basically was just, you know, having a venting session where I was just talking about, at that time, I think I was in my senior year of college, and you know, paying rent, groceries. Like I said before we got on here, I was telling you I've been on my own since I was 18. I went away to college after 2 years of being at a predominantly white institution of PWI. I came back into the city because at the time I wanted to really land better internships. Okay, I was studying communications at my first institution. Then I came into the city and transferred, and I started doing TV and radio production. And that's when I started cooking with grease. I was able to learn the boards and go on air and learn how to use cameras and stuff. And I had an internship with BT and an internship with the Breakfast Club. So I came back into New York City because I wanted those opportunities. Those opportunities was not being presented to me in Buffalo, New York. So I've always been that college kid where when I got my refund check, you know, my friends is running down to Miami and running down to spring break and buying this and buying that. And I'm over here like, I'm going to pay my rent up for the next 4 months. I ain't even going to play myself. I got this $3,000 sitting here. At the time, my rent was like $700. I'm going to just pay my rent up as much as this $3,000 could stretch, so I ain't got to worry about that, because I could run down to Miami and play myself and floss and flex with y'all, and my ass would be homeless.
For real.
So I just kind of, you know, got to a point where I was just like feeling suffocated. Like the pressure was just coming down on me, because I'm just like, what the fuck? This is my 20s. I'm in college. This is supposed to be the best years of your life. That's what people always tell you. But because of my circumstances, you know, my background and where I come from, it didn't feel that way. You know, I was the kid, the student where when I'm moving in to campus, my parents never went to my colleges and helped me move in. Never. They never moved me in. I would take my shit on Amtrak when I was going to Buffalo. And that shit would be embarrassing. I'm at a private, predominantly white institution. Most of those kids got money. Their parents got money. And these kids, even the black kids, because, you know, there's obviously black kids and minorities there. Right. They coming in with cases of Dove soap and all types of shit. Their parents is hooking them up, making sure they set for the semester. And I'm just moving myself and putting like my little one sheet on my bed until I get paid so I can go buy a blanket. Like, that was my college struggle from an economical standpoint. So I just remember doing a video talking about that. Like, I'm just tired of it, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, y'all was all in my comments, you know, offering encouragement and support. So let's take it back to 2018. Take it back to 2018. This is, I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah.
What does that subject matter say?
How much money do you need?
Right. So this is the email I get on October 11th, 2018.
Okay.
She goes, "Hey, Liyah, my name is Casey, and I have been watching your YouTube video since the whole Tasha K drama a few weeks ago." So this is when Tasha K started to explode onto the YouTube streets and everybody was talking about her.
Okay.
I am a silent watcher most times, but I have interacted with you on your lives. My name is Occult, Jim says. Anyhow, I understand the frustrations of a 22-year-old adult and all that goes with it. I do suggest that you try to stay in the sun as much as you can to get energy. You also need to sun gaze, as this has many health benefits, including lots of energy. So she going through all of that.
Okay.
She wrote, because I don't want to go through the long message. But she goes, anyways, how much money is it that you need? I do not want anything from you. I do not expect you to give me any special attention. I am just saying I don't like people doing things for me because I know they want something in return. But I have no motive except I know how hard it can be. I too have a young 23-year-old daughter out here going through the same things you are going through, and she doesn't have to. I try to help her, but she refuses help. Now, Liyah, today, who I am, if somebody would have pulled up in my email with this, I would have dubbed them and kept it moving. Because through therapy and through introspection and healing, my therapist, when I was showing her these emails and talking about the situation that, erupted between me and Occult Gems, she was basically saying that allegedly, and I'm only saying allegedly because you know how people are, but this is a licensed therapist, that Occult Gems is a narcissistic psychopath. And how they operate is they love bomb you. They love bomb you and pour into you, and then they just flip. They switch. Kind of like that movie on Netflix. If y'all ever seen A Fall from Grace. That's how.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, how that dude was singing her praises, and the minute he got in good to the point of no return, he just flipped like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So that was how me and her got acquainted. She reached out to me.
Okay, but it was on some, let me support her. She needs that assistance. Let me see what I can do for her.
Right.
Okay.
So now, this is in October 2018. I started my internship at the Breakfast Club in September of 2018. I remember it verbatim because I remember I had went out the Friday before I started that Monday. And that was the night that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B had that fight at the Harper Bazaar party. Okay, so I remember that following Monday going in. It was a hot topic. Everybody was talking about it. And that was my first day interning with the Breakfast Club. Me and her become acquainted. She's commenting more, showing her face more, emailing me. And I decide, you know what? I want to set up a tarot reading with her.
Okay.
Because at this time, I had been going to this spiritual advisor that lived in my neighborhood at the time. And she was supposedly doing spiritual work for me, saying that like somebody put a hex on me, this, that, and the third. I had gave this woman about $1,200 and she basically scammed me. And I just want to let people know who's watching. Okay, because unfortunately, you have people that will see that you are depressed. You have people that will see that you are desperate to find some type of happiness or light at the tunnel, and they will exploit that for their own like selfish desires. And that's what happened to me. I ended up paying $1,200. I know better now. Florida water, Epsom salt, and lemon juice. That should run you about $30. Clean your tub out and take your bath at home. Ain't no bath worth $1,200. So I just want to put that out there. I had did a video with not a video. I did a reading with the Occult Gems. Okay. And I was just saying, I feel unhappy. I just feel depressed because I deal with seasonal depression around that time in October. So this is October 22nd. Okay. Around that time in October, it started getting dark earlier. So my seasonal depression is kicking up, whatever the case may be. And we scheduled a reading. In the midst of me asking her about this and that, I'm basically like, yeah, I'm interning at the Breakfast Club. And I was really excited to go there and meet Charlemagne the God and, possibly get him as a mentor or something, or get some guidance from him, because I really admire what I've seen of him. But I feel like he doesn't like me. When you are getting a psychic reading or whatever advisement, you could go to a pastor, whatever the case may be. You're going to this person because you trust what they're about to say. Whatever information they give you, it holds weight because you done paid them money for them to give you this information. So you're trusting that this person is moving in integrity and with the right mind. She goes, I pick up like a jealous energy. And I just was like, from Charlemagne? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, what the fuck would he have to be jealous about? This man is very much so accomplished. Right. And she's like, no, like, I just pick up an energy. Like, you know, you'll be surprised. You look at these celebrities and these public figures, and they're established and accomplished, and they have all these accolades and, you know, bestseller books and stuff, but they can see when someone has potential. And they could see certain elements of themselves in you. And sometimes that could just make them feel threatened, because you have to think about it. In the entertainment industry, it's all about what's young, hot, and fresh. So she was basically saying, he's going to keep you at a distance because he sees your potential. It's not that he doesn't like, she was just kind of like, it's not that he so much doesn't really care for you to the point where like it's a hatred. But it's just, he's going to keep you at a distance. Then she goes on to say, well, I don't know, because I'm pulling the devil card and the moon card and the lover's card, and he may have like a sexual attraction. He may have a sexual attraction to you. Now, this is all alleged. I'm just regurgitating what she said in her reading. Okay. And I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable because, you know, we've heard stories about young women in the entertainment industry, especially when you're dealing with hip hop and whatnot. It's very misogynistic. It's very patriarchal. And there are so many women that deal with sexual assault or sexual harassment, but they feel pressured not to speak on it because they want to further their careers. So I started feeling, as she's telling me that, my mind is just going there like, what the fuck? So then she was just like, you need to be careful around him because he's a warlock. And I'm like, what's a warlock? And she's like, a male witch. Like, he practices and dibbles and dabbles. Mind you, I'm new to this. This is in 2018. Right. Before I picked up tarot decks or any of that. So I ain't have no altar, no nothing. I was just out here living life. Okay. Okay. I didn't know about none of this stuff. So I'm just taking everything that she says is just holding a lot of weight at that time. I'm 22
and she has more of the experience. Yeah.
Right. I'm 22 years old. I'll be 25 next month. So this is almost 3 years ago. Okay. And she's just like, because you know, at the time he had those allegations with that girl.
What was her name? Jessica something?
Jessica Reed, yeah. Right. And she was basically saying that he did it. Like, she's like, I did a reading. I'm going to send you the reading. And he definitely did that to that girl. So you need to be careful and you need to stay away from him because this man is lusting after you. So those are the seeds from this woman who's supposed to be a spiritual advisor, a reader, planted in my head. And at the time, I'm dealing with depression. I just did a video where I was crying and talking about this. So I'm not vibrating on my highest frequency. I'm not connected with my higher self at all. Yeah. I'm just blindly listening and following to what this woman said. Charlemagne has never, ever, 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 while I was interning there, been inappropriate with me. I've had encounters with him where they were not positive, yes, but I've never had an inappropriate sexual encounter where I felt intimidated in any form or fashion. Quiet as it's kept, we didn't care for each other that much. I can't even tell you any point in time where me and him have had a one-on-one conversation in the 9 to 10 months where I was working there. From there, she begins to unofficially mentor and advise me. I'm going to her for a lot of questions and clarity and stuff, this, that, and the third, X, Y, and Z. She continues to send me emails, like I'll do a video, and she'll be like, it'll be long emails, Niche, like long emails. Oh my God, you are just so amazing, and this, that, and the third. And because I'm yearning for that maternal love and appreciation and validation, I found it in her at that moment, or at least I thought I did at that moment. Like everything that I wanted my mom to say to me, you know, my mom didn't come to my high school graduation. My mom never visited my colleges. She never sent me care packages. I done been inducted into the Honor Society, made Dean's List. She wasn't there for none of that. So when you have somebody come to you that's offering you all of the things that you want and they know that's what you want, it's very easy for people to manipulate you and take advantage. And because I always pride myself in being so intelligent and wise, it took me a while to admit this woman played me. Like she really manipulated me. Like she preyed on me from a distance. And when she seen an opportunity, she took it.
There was another allegation, and I believe it was something to do with his daughter. So, can you talk about that a little bit? Do you feel comfortable with getting into that? Okay.
Yeah, because I would really like to clarify that. That's something that has really sat heavy on me for a while, because first and foremost, it was wrong. I wish I could turn my light on, but I'm sure y'all could see.
Yeah, I can see you good.
Okay. First and foremost, it was wrong. What happened was, so let's jump ahead back to that night when I was doing the tarot readings on YouTube. So now we're back in 2019. Me and Occult Gems have established a sisterhood, whatever, mother, daughter, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And that night when, you know, I'm doing my tarot readings, I get off of YouTube, I'm like on this high. Like I said, I was very excited. I'm like, oh shit, like girl, you know how to read. Like it's lit. Yeah. So I'm sitting in my bedroom and I'm just reading on a bunch of shit. Like, ooh, well, what's this? Like I'm having fun.
Okay.
And then I just end up asking, like, you know, what is Charlemagne's relationship with his daughter? You know what I mean? I don't know why I asked. I feel like what it was is at the time, by then, I done had so much negative narratives about him in my head from my personal experience with him, in culmination with the stuff that Occult Gems told me, that it just put me in a space to really go to that low moment and ask, was there anything inappropriate happening? Right. And I text Occult Gems because at the time when I needed help with tarot or I needed help with anything, you know, regarding spirituality, I would text and ask her because I trusted her opinion. And I basically told her what I got. I personally never used the R word ever. She put that in the title to make it salacious and to make it catch traction. I never used that word.
Okay. Secondly, what did you say? Okay. Go ahead.
Secondly, I used molested. That's what I used. Okay. Secondly, I would never put anything like that out on the internet. Never. Even before, like when I used to do celebrity tarot readings, I never would teeter those lines. Like that's just not who I am and what I do. I don't judge people that do it. I just don't like to do it. Okay. So even back then when I was first starting out. So when I'm talking to her and I'm telling her, like, this is what I got, I'm thinking this is a conversation being had in confidence. I have clients that spiritually advise under me right now who do tarot that come to me all the times about questions they're asking about this, that, and the third. I would never put those messages out because you're not supposed to do that. These are conversations being had in confidence. I'm learning the meaning of the cards. I'm learning to tap into my intuition. I'm coming to you so you can help me. But because she wanted to perpetuate such a nasty and vile narrative about me, she put it out. I take full accountability for asking the question. I take full accountability for abusing the tool of tarot and abusing my gift of discernment to ask that question. It was completely out of line and it should have never happened, but it did. So all I could do is grow from it, take accountability, and move forward. And I do feel bad because I do understand everybody has access to the internet, and I would hate for him or anybody to access it, but it just is what it is. It's out of my control. She put it up, not me.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that. Do you think that he's come across that information? Because were you still interning at that time?
By the time she put that up, I wasn't. Charlamagne is someone that he be on the internet. Like he does. He be in the comments. He be on the internet. He knows about YouTubers. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did come across it. If he comes across this video, I do sincerely apologize. I do.
Yeah.
But
well, go ahead.
It's also a situation where it's just like, I can't change it. You know, I can't change it. And you can't control what somebody else does with information that you share with them that you think is in confidence. Like we all text and be in group chats and do all types of shit, and we do not ever in our wildest imagination think that that shit is going to be for public viewing.
Child, say that again. I mean, I feel like you have conversations in private for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? And so I wouldn't ever feel comfortable with, because you and I have even, you know, been talking in text and stuff like that. I don't think I will ever feel comfortable enough to just, okay, well, let me release this audio. Let me, you know, I just feel like it's just nasty. I wouldn't do that if I didn't have the permission to do so. But, you know, I feel like for her to do that, I'm wondering what exactly do you think made her feel like, okay, well, you know, all bets are off, whatever. I'm going to expose her. What do you think?
That's how, and this is what my therapist taught me. That's how narcissistic psychopaths act. They will wind you up and pour into you. And the minute that you don't do something their way, they just fly off the handle. They just, and for those that's like, well, how did y'all fall out? She texted me one day. I remember I was up at the studio chilling with my homeboy, and she texted me. And she basically was like, I'm going to ask you a question. I already know the answer, but I just want you to say it. And before that, I had already started creating distance between me and Occult Gems because I just started to feel like something was off with her. Like something just was not right with her. So I kind of seen what happened between us coming before it came. I felt it. Like God was talking to me and telling me like, yeah, shit is about to hit the fan between y'all. She basically got upset because she paid me to promote some of her stuff on my page, which I did. And then I had put the videos on private at a much later date. And she felt like I was trying to get over on her. And for me, at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. We know how YouTube works. Most of your views come in the first 48 hours.
Yep, that's true.
Those videos have been up for months. And I just, when I was putting, I'm the type of person where if I don't like how my page looks, I start putting certain videos on private. That's just me.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It wasn't intentional, like, oh, these are the videos with her links. Let me put them on private. It was just like, oh, this video only got 151 views. All right, I'm going to put this on private. This ain't about to make me no more money. Nobody's not watching it. Like, I'm looking at my analytics. Nobody clicks on that video. Okay. So she had already... decided that whatever narrative that she had in her head about why I did it, that's what she was sticking to. And she just came with this energy because I apologized. I was like, well, do you want, like, you know, what do you want me to do? She wasn't here for it. So you already came in with the intention to end this friendship. You know what I mean? So it just was what it was. And then from there, you know, it just snowballed.
So would you have at the time, would you have just put the video back up to, like, if that's what she was asking for and she had paid for it, just put it back up? But it was like, there wasn't a resolution at that time. She didn't really want
it to be. No, she didn't.
But I guess since she's probably looking at it while I paid you, so leave it up there. I don't care if nobody ever looks at it.
I get that. Like, I get that. Like, I totally get it. I'm new to business, so it's trial and error. You're gonna have moments where it's not your intent to move in a certain way, but the way it impacts somebody is different. I totally get that. She came in with a preconceived notion that she was sticking to.
Yeah.
So it was just like, listen, I'm not gonna sit up here and try to change your mind when your mind is already made up and cemented.
Do you think there's ever going to be an opportunity where y'all can have a talk about it and hash it out?
It would be a waste of my energy and time to try to reason with somebody who is just naturally unreasonable. I'm in the process of forgiving her. Clearly she's seen some things and been through some things that have, cultivated who she is today. That doesn't make it right, because I'm not the only person she's done that to. She's done that to several people on YouTube, and I didn't know that. But I appreciate the experience I had with her, because I'm so sharp now, it's not even funny. People come into my emails all the time, or they always comment on every video. Like, the video could be 10 seconds new, and you see that one person that's there. And it's distance. Like, I've just learned so much from that situation, to the point where I'm glad I went through it. It was hurtful. It was painful. It was hard. It was humiliating. But I bet you'll never find me in no situation like that again.
I don't do well with gray areas. Like, I like it to be one way or the other, but I feel like there's always still an opportunity to reconcile. So, and I leave that open.
I mean, if she was to reach out to me and apologize and take full accountability, I would receive that, and I would acknowledge that. But you can never go back to being friends or anything after all it is.
Oh no, I don't think. I just mean, like, for some sort of what's the word I'm looking for, girl? Just closure. Right. Given some of the videos I watched of hers, and then, how you did some videos, you even did a testimony recently. Like, when I'm looking at that, I'm like, well, there's still probably a chance, you know what I mean, that y'all could just, not necessarily be besties, but at least bring closure to the situation. Okay, that's how you felt. You felt slighted in that way. Well, this is why, this was my perception. And then, let it go at that time. But that's just me. That's just how I feel.
I get it.
You mentioned that because of your previous experiences that you had with Charlamagne the God, you kind of fell into, what she was telling you. So tell us about exactly what those experiences were that you had with him during your internship at the Breakfast Club that actually made you feel like, okay, maybe she's on to something with her reading.
So when I first got there the first week, he was really nice. Like, he was really nice. Envy was nice. And then Angela Yee was just kind of like, she was pleasant, but you could just tell she's just that type of person where outside of, hey, good morning, how you doing, just kind of leave her be unless she needs something from you or she's going to engage you. Then literally out of nowhere, I just started to get this weird energy from him. Now, in the morning when you're going to get their breakfast, and they all drink juices. Okay, so I don't really get breakfast. Like, Charlamagne gets at least when I was there, was the fresh squeezed orange juice and the protein shake. Angela Yee would do the green juice, and then Envy would do sparkling water and pineapple and mango smoothie. I still remember it because I used to do the shit every day. Okay, so whenever you would get it, Charlamagne would ask me, "Do you want anything?" Okay. Now Charlamagne is from down south. Okay, and some people, when they offer you food or offer to buy you food and you say no thank you, they feel a certain type of way. I remember when I went to visit my cousin and his wife in upstate New York, and she's Jamaican, and she cooked dinner, and I genuinely was not hungry because I just ate, and I was like, oh, I'm not hungry, and she was offended. And it wasn't until years later when I spoke to her, she's like, yeah, in my culture, if we offer you food and you turn it down, that's rude. I'm just thinking to myself, I thought that's the polite thing to do, because what's going to happen is you're going to put this plate of food in front of me.
And I'm not going to eat
it. Where it's going.
Yeah.
Everybody is different.
Yeah.
So with him, I feel like because I would say no, he felt rejected. Like, this is my way of trying to connect with you, and you're not taking it. Everybody has a certain type of gesture that they give to break the ice.
Yeah.
And I was guarded. Like I said, at that time in my life, I was going through a lot. I had just moved into my new place. I had literally lived in this one room for like 2 months, if that. and I had to leave because the woman was batshit fucking crazy, recording me and going in my room when I wasn't there. So literally, the day that I went to interview for my Breakfast Club internship, 24 hours before, I had just moved all my stuff in. I had boxes. Like, I was just, and school was just starting. I had a lot going on. Yeah. And I was not cognizant of the way that I was coming across. I didn't know that by not engaging in certain conversations and not smiling, that was giving off an undertone of she's stuck up or she's a bitch. I didn't know that's how I was coming off, right? Yeah. So I feel like him offering to buy me breakfast and me saying no, I feel like that's when shit started to turn, like the tide started to turn there. And I'm on YouTube at the time. Tasha K was doing these exclusives. You know, that's when she bought. That's when I came across your YouTube channel. What? When you reviewed that interview that Tasha K did with, what was his name, Avion. Oh, and you was like, what in the Brokeback Mountain? Yep. That's how I came across your YouTube channel. And yeah, so that's going on. And it just was not good. I really feel like Charlamagne felt like because I was a YouTuber and I was bold, because I'm going and clocking in at the Breakfast Club and I would bring my ass right home, and whatever was going on, I was talking about it. When Tasha K did that interview, I thought it was funny. It's not funny for somebody's downfall, but first of all, the interview was just so crazy. I'm just like, this has to just be for entertainment purposes. Yeah, this shit cannot be real. You talking about Kevin Hunter came to your house and bent you over and you doo-dooed, like, come on now. He was lying his ass off. Yeah. I'm not taking it serious. Like, it's just fun and games to me. And I'll be honest right now, because it was so much tension between me and Charlamagne, I did enjoy it. Like, that's just how it is. When you don't have positive experiences with people and you start to see them get a taste of their own medicine, I enjoyed it. It was funny to me. I just thought it was funny because I'm coming into work. Me and Angela Yee had formed a bond at this time. She had asked me to work her birthday party. Her birthday's in January. So I came back to intern the next semester. That was January of 2019. She asked me to work her birthday party. And that's how me and Angela Yee got cool, because I'm like, this woman is really genuine. Like, she's really genuine. She took me to her house. When she went shopping, she was shopping for some shoes to wear. She was like, do you want anything? Once again, me being modest. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm gotta work on your yes. But let me tell you why. Because growing up, and I had to explain this to somebody who's actually very close to Charlamagne, because I had a conversation with this person. Growing up, when my parents would buy me something or do something, they literally would remind me like, oh, well, you wanted the Sidekick 3 or the Sidekick LX, or you wanted the Razor phone. Right. And, you know, we're a few payments behind with the light bill and this, that, and the third. Like, I could never be a kid and just enjoy regular kid shit. So when you have parents that throw things in your face and you think like, this is my parents, these are things that you should want to do from the goodness of your heart. I'm your child. I didn't know at the time that when I went out into the world, I was still carrying that. So when Charlamagne is asking me, do you want anything for breakfast? I'm not trying to be a stuck-up bitch. I'm afraid to take anything from you because I feel like it's coming with a stipulation. Yeah. I mean, look at the story I just told about Occult Gems. Look where that got me. Yeah. Look where that got me. And she specifically said out her mouth, oh, I don't want anything in return. Now, granted, people fall out, shit happens, but the things that she's done to me, you could not have had good intentions. Right. Because we've all done for people and then fell out with them. And I don't think we go to those extremes unless we're just evil or like dark-hearted. He could be real like bitchy. I see that. Like, one time he said something like, people think they so hot because they're on YouTube. just was like,
was that just random for him to say that?
He was talking about Wendy Williams, saying how Wendy Williams is somebody who could do her show straight through without breaks. This was the old Wendy Williams. Pray for her now.
Yeah.
But she could do her show straight. And he looked to me and was like, "Do you think you can do that?" And I was just like, this. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." No, you can't. No, you can't. It's not YouTube. It's I was just like,
what the hell?
I was just like, okay. And I remember somebody told me that one day when I was at work, I wasn't there. He had said something like, "Oh, Aaliyah thinks Tasha K is just so poppin'. She just thinks she's so poppin'. This, that, and the third." Mm-hmm. And somebody actually stood up for me and showed them a video where I was going in on Tasha K. I honestly feel like it just comes down to ego. A lot of people in that industry get used to people singing their praises and kissing their ass and stroking their egos. And you could ask anybody there. I was not there for that. Okay. I was there to get my work done. And whatever came during that opportunity, I was appreciative of it. I love Angela till this day. I have so much love for her because anything she did for me, it was always from the heart. I do find it ironic that I went there so like bright-eyed and starry-eyed to meet Charlemagne. I wasn't even thinking about Angela Yee, and that's the person that God ended up connecting me with.
What exactly was your position there?
I was an intern. I was a paid intern.
Yeah. So I know paid intern, but like, what did you do?
So you screen the phone calls. Like when people call in to get it off their chest, you screen those phone calls. When guests start coming in, you get the guest packets together. You know their biography, what they're there to promote. You put a bunch of questions and things that's going on with them.
Okay.
You have opportunities. One thing I will say about the Breakfast Club, they give you a lot of flexibility to find your niche. They really do. Like compared to, I've had friends who've interned at Hot 97. I've had friends who interned under Power 105 with Angie Martinez. The Breakfast Club is very flexible with giving you a lot of room to find your niche and to develop in any area you want skill-wise. Now, does that guarantee you a paid opportunity? No. But once you learn something, can't nobody take that from you.
You got it.
That's one thing that I love. Like the unsung heroes of that show is the producers, the people behind the scenes, super dope and cool people, the editors, the cameramen. Those are the unsung heroes of shows like that. Those be like the dopest, most down-to-earth people where if you go to them, and I'm speaking for the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Hey, can you help me with this? Oh, yeah, I got it. You could sit in with me. You could do this. Like just super nice and super warm. Like I wouldn't say that I had a bad experience. I can't say that I had a bad experience overall being an intern there. There's people that I met there that I still talk to till today. It was kind of like don't meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. I was really taken back. I think what would throw salt in the wound is the individual who like basically the interns reported to was somebody that he's very close with. And that person did not like me. There was no secret about it. Other interns can come in late or take the day off and do this. I'm filing police reports and shit because I'm having problems at my apartment and whatnot. And I'm like, listen, I don't think I could come in and you holding my feet to the fire for that. But you got people just taking the day off because they partying or they went and did this and that. And you ain't saying shit about that. So it was like little situations like that where I was able to see his influence and like intuitively, I'm like, I'm not stupid. Like clearly he does not like me. And you just started to see there was certain people that was cool with me. And the minute they got in good with him, they just started to create distance from me. So it was like a rude awakening, but it also was a lot of lessons in that because it just taught me don't be so quick to give people so much, because if you are quick to help people and be warm and give people this, they don't have to give that back to you. Like it would be nice, but they don't have to. You know, you just learn self-preservation. Like, make sure you're good first. And once you're good and once your cup is full, if you want to pour into somebody else's cup, fine. But do it without expectations, because I think my biggest thing with working there was, you know, going up for somebody or helping somebody. And then when it was time for somebody to defend me or really stand up for me, I didn't always get that.
So do you keep in contact with Angela Yee or Envy? I know probably not Charlamagne.
Only person I talk to is Angela Yee from time to time. Like, she has a new show on xoxo, so I congratulated on her on that. When they got inducted, I congratulated her. Like, if I see something pop up with her, I just shout her out and be like, you know, congratulations, because she's a good person. You know, I like to see good people get in there just do. It's hard to be a good person and keep your integrity intact and keep your light bright when you're in a career field such as that. I never felt intimidated in any sexual way. I didn't have those experiences. And even though I didn't have the best experience with Charlamagne the God, the same way I'm at a different place in my life and I've grown and done introspection. I think 2020 has been a very introspective year for everyone, because we all had to sit our asses down and be still. And when you are still and when you are quiet and you are isolated, that's when God is the loudest.
Right.
So if I've been able to go on my journey and take accountability and go to war with my nasty traits, that we all got a shadow side and all have non-redeemable qualities, I'm sure that he's done that. I don't want it to be a thing where my experience I've had with him is what I'm proclaiming him to be as a person, because we all have different experiences with people. And once again, like I said, maybe the way in which I was showing up prompted him to be icy and to be cold at times and to be nice, nasty. That's life. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Okay. So earlier I told you that I felt like I found your YouTube channel on, I want to say Scotty made a video. And I can't remember what he was talking about, but I remember him saying y'all should go check out Liyah. I really think that's where I got it from. I remember the times you was like probably on a bed, like now.
Still on the bed.
Just talking, giving your opinions on stuff. And a lot of times people didn't agree with it, but I respect the realness of it. So I was like, okay, she's cool. And she's young. Oh my gosh, she's beyond her years. So kind of tell us what it was that brought you to YouTube. Was it because, you know, Scotty may have told you, okay, you'd be good at that?
Or is it something? I met Scotty during my YouTube journey. I've been saying for years, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a YouTube channel. You know, I used to watch Funky Dineva, For It's Rocks, The Scorpion Show, Ashley Miller, Kid Furry, like Mr. Still Standing, Scotty's channel. Like I can't miss PTV. I came up watching that generation of Black YouTubers.
Right.
So I always would say I want to do it, but I need to have the right camera. I need to have this. I need to have that. And my cousin always used to say to me, girl, you could just do it right there on your phone. You could just do it right there on your phone. And sometimes I wish I would have just listened to her, because I probably would have been further. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, but I just, I was studying communications. I used to have aspirations to be a radio personality. And I just came to YouTube. Like, I think my first video that I did that did well was when the strippers in New York City went on strike. And I did a YouTube video about that, and that got like 16,000 views. And that's when I just took my phone and propped it up against some chapter books. I ain't have no tripod, no nothing. Like, my video used to be like, you're looking up at me. It just used to be a weird ass angle. And from there, like, I was inconsistent. And then I finally got consistent with putting out videos. And then my video that went viral that got me to my first 1,000 was when Cardi B and Azealia Banks got into it, and about colorism, and I did a video about it, and both of those videos went viral, and that's when my subscribers and my views and support started to come in. And then from there, the rest was history.
On my channel, it was a video that I did about Aisha Morgan. I think that was her name. And she was the one that accused Neve from Catfish of, I don't know, she didn't necessarily say he molested her, or not molested, but raped her, but he just made her feel very uncomfortable. And so I did a video about that. Literally was a reaction video. And that video, like, I got 4,000 views. 4,000 subscribers off of that one video. So tell us about some of the challenges that you experienced on YouTube.
I think the biggest thing is staying true to what you set out to do when you create your channel and not being influenced by what your viewers want. So we all, have a main mission with our channel, at least some of us. Some of us just get on here and we just talk, and then over time it just morphs into whatever it morphs into. Right. But this time around, as LivewLiyah show was entertainment commentary. This time around, I was very intentional with Melanated Crowns. Melanated Crowns is about activating your divine femininity. It's about helping Black women obtain and sustain their mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. So that means that for the most part, every video that I put out, I try my best to make sure that whatever the subject matter is, it ties back into the mission statement. Okay. And that could be hard because I could do a video on Cardi B's divorce and I could get like over 100 new subscribers, and that could do well for 1,000 and something views. But then the next video I do where I'm talking about 5 indicators that you're in spiritual poverty, or 5 ways to activate your divine femininity, or honor the divine, that gets like 200 views. And that could be real discouraging because you're like, damn, if I just keep talking about this, I'm sure my views will click up. So I constantly have to have a conversation with myself and say, listen, you already been there with LivewLiyah show. You built that channel based off of talking about low vibrational stuff 24/7, and it was reflective in your audience. And when I started to grow as a spiritual being and evolve, you can't force people to be on the same page as you. So that's why I just shut the channel down. So with Melanated Crowns, I enjoy the fact that even if I'm not getting as many views as I would want, and comments and engagement and subscribers as fast, I am very appreciative and happy that at least I know these people are here for what I'm giving.
Yeah. And you're working on your purpose.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because that can be really, really hard to do. Like to leave a channel that was doing well, but based off of low vibrational stuff. Like you said, to leave that and then go to a channel where you're not getting as many views, you can be discouraged. You find yourself releasing what the audience wants. Let me just keep giving them what they come to the channel for. Let me keep doing that. But then you find yourself always giving to them, and then you're not really doing something that you truly want to do.
There's a lot of YouTubers who complain about that. There's a lot of YouTubers. There's one YouTuber in particular that is very big that I speak to. Like we talk through text sometimes and whatnot. And they told me personally, like, I don't even want to talk about this shit. But I know this is what my viewers, and that is what I want to avoid happening again. Because that's what was starting to happen with the LivewLiyah show. Like, it's really surprising to me that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj is still a subject matter in the way that it is. Yeah. And I am not judging, condemning, or looking down on anyone that covers it. I'm just, because I'm so far removed from really caring and being invested in them the way I used to be, I'm shocked that they're still subject matters. So where you look in the comments and the same people who used to be on LivewLiyah show are still in comment sections of, YouTubers arguing. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I really think a lot of the beefs that like the YouTube, what do you call them? The beef sector of YouTube. I honestly believe at times they want to just let that shit go and they want to talk about something else. But the problem is that's how you didn't your whole channel is branded that way now. So you have
and you become a slave. You become a slave to your audience as opposed to being like, a vessel of your soul purpose. And like, I don't want to do that. That's kind of like when Armand Wiggins, for example, he dibbles and dabbles in spirituality and tarot. And he did a whole video talking about, listen, I feel like there's more to my purpose than talking about people with a talent. Like, my talent can't possibly be talking about people with a talent. And he had went through this whole change of scenery with crystals and all types of stuff, changed everything, and people started unsubscribing.
They didn't want that.
And he got discouraged, and he went right back to do. And I'm not saying that what he's doing now is not his purpose, because it's not my place, nor is it any of my business. I'm just, as an audience member who enjoys this show and was observing, I'm just like, dang, like, you did a whole speech, a whole live about how you was done with that. You're trying to gear away from that. But the minute people started unsubscribing, you felt pressure to go right back to that. And he even talks about how, like, he wants to do, I guess, like, because people will say to him, you should be like a publicist, or you should advise celebrities. And one time he said to the caller, thank you so much for saying that to me, because, you know, behind closed doors, sometimes I do feel conflicted, because there are certain things I want to do. But when I pull out the tarot cards, y'all get scared. Y'all don't want that. And see, I can relate to that, because I deactivated LivewLiyah show at 10,500 subscribers, to be exact. Oh,
you deactivated it?
It's deleted. It's gone. Whatever you call it is done. Like, it is done. I just did away with it completely. Okay. It's none of those videos. Everything is gone. It's been a year now, just about, because I did it around this time last year. I deactivated it, and it was hard, because I'm like, damn, I literally accumulated 10,500 subscribers in a little over a year. And I could keep going and grow it, but what my audience member wants, I don't feel connected to anymore. Yeah. Like, I genuinely started, as I began to spiritually ascend, I really started to outgrow Cardi B said this and Nicki Minaj. Like, I just did not care. Yeah. I did not care anymore. And even now, like, I spoke about her divorce, and then I did one follow-up video, and that was it. To my knowledge, Cardi B hasn't been in the news, but I'll come on YouTube and be scrolling, and I'll see people doing videos about, people in India are mad at her because of her cover. And I'm just like, I didn't even know nothing about this.
Yeah, I told you, out of sight, out of mind, honey.
Right, exactly. And that's why I never understand when people be like, she's a culture vulture, she's this. I'm like, but y'all keep her going. Because somebody like me, she don't get posted on Black blogs like that, because she done cursed all of them out. So a lot of them don't want to post her, because they don't want them problems with her mouth. Okay. So at this point, if we're really being honest, YouTubers keep her in the news, in my humble, honest opinion. Black YouTubers keep Cardi B in the news and gossip circulation, if we are keeping it 100%. So when are we going to hold ourselves accountable for constantly giving commentary and reporting on these culture vultures and these people that are bad for the environment?
Well, it's a click and a view. I think it's because that's where your views are going to come from.
And that's when integrity comes in, because there has to, I don't want to say it has to, but I would suggest that you take a moment while you're on your path and you go within it, you ask God, am I doing the right thing? Because sometimes we think, because we hit 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 1 million, we got all these plaques, we getting checks, we able to do this and that. Just because you're getting good results does not mean that you're on your path. And that's what I learned.
Yeah, there are some people, because I told you, like, I'm not always, and you can see it on my channel, I'm not always releasing. But when I do release a video, it's because I wanted to talk about that. Right. Okay. But the problem is, like, I see new channels and they're literally coming out, and the last videos I did were about Tasha K. My opinions. But there's people that are coming out and they're literally their whole sole purpose is to bash her and her channel.
Yes.
And I just don't understand, like, how can you give this person that y'all say is so horrible, how can y'all give that particular person so much?
You know what I've learned? You know what I've honestly learned? It's not for us to understand. So let me expound on that. A lot of situations that I used to find myself in when I would get into it with YouTubers was because I felt the need to give an opinion on somebody's opinion. If you want to create a platform that is hateful, negative, low vibrational, and nasty, and I come across it and it disturbs me, I have free will to click off and just never engage again.
Yeah, that's true.
I also have free will to talk about it, but what am I talking about it for? What am I giving an opinion on your opinion for? Why do I feel it's my place? And this is how me and Mob Radio had that little tiff, because I felt a certain way about some things she was saying about Cardi B. Okay. And once again, growth and introspection and self-accountability. She has every right to do what she wants to do on her platform. She has every right to have whatever opinion she has about Cardi B on her platform. If I don't agree, I could just step to the side. And I had to be honest with myself and say, okay, that's just my ego right now. Because what difference is it going to make if I call somebody out for the way that they're moving? I'm not God. It's not my place. Let people do their journey the way they want to. You know what I mean? Me and Armand got into it on Twitter in the DMs because he DM'd me and was like, oh, you made a comment about me switching over to spirituality, et cetera, and me and him went back and forth because I felt like it was my place as somebody who's a spiritual advisor to tell him, I think you're being inauthentic. And the reality is, it's not my place to dictate or analyze anyone's spiritual path or how they interact with spirituality or how they interact with tools. That's their business. So I say all of that to say, integrity is key. And once again, just because you're getting good results, thousands of likes, thousands of comments, hundreds and thousands of subscribers, and, you know, of course, the money, that's all good and well. But if you still feel a twinge of emptiness in yourself, despite all of that, you really want to check in with God and ask God, am I doing the right thing? Because that's what happened with me after I left the Breakfast Club. Angela Yee was like, well, you could continue to work with me and do lip service. And I'm literally sitting in my bed preparing a guest packet. And I literally heard God say to me, you do not want to do this. You're doing this because you think this is what you're supposed to do. You just wrapped up an internship with the #1 radio show in the morning. You have this link to Angela Yee. And because of society's expectations and expectations of family members and friends who know you're in that bubble, you feel pressure to keep going down that path. But is it fulfilling you on a soul level? And my answer was no. And I had to respectfully just say, this is just not for me. Like, I don't know who I am right now and who I'm supposed to be. And I want to take a step back and learn myself and come into myself as a woman before I continue with it. It's just like when it comes to YouTube and just like if anybody's out there that wants to be an aspiring YouTuber, like Nesha said, when she uploads about something, that's because she wants to talk about it. And I really do think everybody should take that approach. Be careful. Do not fall into that trap of becoming a slave to what your audience wants.
What's next? Now, I'm really excited about the we're gonna, you know, link up together and we're gonna collaborate on some power.
December 9th.
Oh, December 9th. Girl, thank you for telling me. See, girl, look. Already. Besides that, what's next for Liyah?
I'm just going to continue to grow my platform, grow my business. I'm a spiritual advisor first. So you are able to book spiritual advising sessions with me or tarot sessions. I have a handful of clients who do continuous spiritual advising with me where we check in weekly, daily, however often they need me, and I give them tools. People have, sent in testimonies and done reviews of the work that I do. And like I said, I'm in the process of studying for my LSAT. I take my LSAT in January. And when I pass and get into law school, we will do a virtual celebration.
Okay, that sounds exciting right there. We're going to be praying for you.
Yes, please pray. All of y'all, all the prayer warriors, pray for me. And all of those that try to send negative vibes towards me, pray for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Pray for yourself, then pray for me, because I don't want your tainted prayer to get on me.
Pray for yourself.
I just hope that everything that you're looking for as far as, in your life, you're working on your relationship with your parents. So of course, I'm going to be checking in on that, making sure everything is good, because I really do see that growth, and I don't want you to get off track. And I'm older than you. I'm 32. But child, you already
don't look it.
Me.
You don't look it.
Growth as far as being spiritually connected to yourself, your higher power, and everything. So I appreciate you. I'm glad that we are linked up, and we'll see. I was nervous about this. I was nervous.
A lot of stuff that I said today I've never really said in this way. It's like I've alluded to it or I've spoken about it briefly. So I was nervous too, but like I said, I'm about to turn 25. I'm like getting over that hump. So this is the midway point of my 20s. And I've been doing a lot of work, like therapy, spiritual advisement, shadow work, journaling, just really taking time for myself to really learn myself and grow. And I just wanted to reintroduce myself and who I am today as a woman, to people, because people come across my YouTube channel all the time. I didn't know you was back on YouTube. Where have you been? And that's where I was just like, okay, I need to do something official where I address everything and reintroduce myself so people can know where to find me, which is Liyah Crowns. I'm sure Nesha will pin my YouTube channel. Yeah, she'll pin it in the comments. And y'all, Black women especially, subscribe to my channel. I do commentary. I talk about, real life stuff. I do weekly messages. It's everything over there for everyone. So even if you're not into the tarot, you could still come over there because I do commentary. Even if you're just there for the tarot, you could still come up. There's something for everybody. So come over and, get your life.
Well, y'all make sure to go get y'all life. I will have her contact information in the description box below, as well as the comment. I'll pin a comment, and Liyah, go over there and comment on that comment so that they'll have a direct connection to you. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, girl. And until next time, y'all. Bye.
I'm ready to go. This tea is super hot. I'm about to rush. I'm back, 3 feet, no pressure.